Now we are. I'm still studying. All these changes. And we're ready. Good evening and welcome to the Glendale City Council meeting of February 23rd, 2021. The meeting is called to order. I will now conduct an attendance roll call. Councilmember, please signify by saying present. Councilmember Clark?
Here.
Councilmember Tomachoff?
Here.
Councilmember Turner?
Present.
Thank you. Councilmember Aldama?
Present.
Councilmember Malnar?
I just want to say the proper word is present. That's what you ask for.
Thank you. I know it.
Here, here.
I'm here. And Mayor Wires is excused. Thank you. The next two items on our agenda are the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation will be delivered by Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Melvin, the Arizona Army National Guard State Chaplain. Men, if you would, please remove your hats. Please stand for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'd like to invite you to pray with me. Lord God Almighty, our ever-present help, we have gathered here this evening to accomplish the work on behalf of this city, its people, and families. Your ancient scriptures indicate that the king's heart is in the Lord's hand and that you turn it whithersoever you will. And while these set-apart team members of the Glendale City Council may not formally be kings or queens, nevertheless they lead this city. Would you please grant them clarity, as in clear-eyed wisdom? Would you grant that their speech and business conduct be seasoned with salt? May the decisions made and the discussions held result in lasting righteous effects. For the sake of this city, bless these civil servants tonight, the work at hand. And Lord, while you help our minds think globally, today may our hearts and hands love locally. Lord, we ask this in the name of our Creator, our Sustainer, and our Redeemer. Amen.
Before we get started, I would like to remind everybody of the following. This meeting is televised live on the City of Glendale's Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as Glendale's own Channel 11. Our meetings are located in the Glendale Civic Center with the audience seated next door. We request that you wear a face covering if you are unable to social distance. For those of you seated next door, to please be aware that you have a screen that allows you to see and hear us, and we have a screen that allows us to see you. With that said, if you wish to speak on any item on the agenda, please complete a golden colored card and give it to the officer in the room to be given to the city clerk to be given to me. If you submitted a speaker card and indicated you wish to speak on an agenda item, I'll wait for you to make your way to the podium in this room. I will be allowing 3 minutes for each speaker tonight on all agenda items. Please keep in mind the citizens' comment section at the end of each voting meeting is to allow the public to speak about anything that is not on the agenda. Thank you for your patience. Next on the agenda is the consideration of the minutes from February 9th, 2021 voting meeting. Council members, do you have any corrections or additions on those minutes? If none, do I have a motion to approve February 9th, 2021 voting minutes?
Vice Mayor,
Councilmember Turner.
I move we approve the minutes of February 9th, 2021.
Have a second, Councilmember Turner, and a motion and a second by Councilmember Clark. Are there any corrections, discussions? No. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We will now move on to boards and commissions. Normally, members are nominated, approved, then invited to come up and be sworn in. In keeping with COVID-19 guidelines, approved board and commission members will be completing their oath of office in a paper version with the city clerk's office. With that said, Councilmember Aldama, do you have nominations to offer for boards and commissions and other bodies?
Yes, Vice Mayor, I do. Thank you. I recommend move to appoint Derek Johnson to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission to a term ending January 31st, 2022, Vice Mayor. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Councilmember Aldama to approve the appointments and a second by Councilmember Turner. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will now move to our consent agenda, items 3 through 15. Items on the consent agenda are of a routine nature or have been previously studied by the City Council at a workshop session. They are intended to be acted upon in one motion by the council. Ms. Bowers, will you please read the consent resolution?
Item 15, resolution number R21-12, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into of an intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Department of Transportation, IGA 20-0007-892-1, for the state to acquire federal funds for the purchase of 1 gigabyte network switches and CCTVs to be used at 166 locations throughout the city of Glendale to monitor traffic on city roadways.
Thank you. We don't have any cards, do we?
No, sir.
Thank you. Council members, are there any items you would like to hear separately?
Vice Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Clark.
for the purposes of voting only, no discussion required. Item 9, 11, 12, and 13.
Okay, thank you. We will now proceed with the action items which remain on the consent agenda, and then we will come back to the items to be heard separately. Is there a motion to approve the action items remaining on the consent agenda?
Yes, Vice Mayor, I move we pass and adopt consent agenda items 3 through 8, items 10 and 14, and consent resolution 15.
Second.
Thank you. There's a motion by Councilmember Clark for approval and a second by Councilmember Tomachoff. Do we have any discussions? Okay. All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We will now proceed with any items pulled from the consent agenda to be heard, voted on separately from earlier pages. Are there questions for the discussions? No.
No.
Then we will just vote on them individually. Do I have a motion for item 9?
Move approval of item number 9, authorization to enter into linking agreement with Matlick Enterprises, Inc.
Do I have a second? Thank you. I have a motion by Councilmember Tomachoff, a second by Councilmember Mountaineer. We approve item 9. We have to take a roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark?
Nay.
Councilmember Mountaineer?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Can I get a motion for item 11?
Move approval of item number 11, authorization to enter into linking agreement with Balar Holding Corporation.
Second.
Have a motion to approve item 11 by Councilmember Tomachoff, second by Councilmember Malinar. Any discussion? We will now conduct a roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark?
Nay.
Councilmember Malinar?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. And get a motion for item 12.
Vice Mayor, I move that we authorize, I move that we approve item number 12 to authorize entering link agreement with Southwest Products.
I have a motion by Councilmember Malinar for approval of item 12 and a second by Councilmember Tomachoff. Any discussion? We now conduct a roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark?
Nay.
Councilmember Malinar?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Motion carries. Can I get a motion on item 13, please?
Vice Chair, or Vice Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we approve item number 13, authorization to enter a link agreement with Pavecon Ltd.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion for approval, item 13 by Councilmember Malinar and a second by Councilmember Tomachoff. Any discussion? We will conduct a roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama,
Aye.
Councilmember Clark,
Nay.
Councilmember Malinar,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff,
Aye.
Councilmember Turner.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. We now move on to ordinances. Ms. Bowers, can you please introduce item 16?
Ordinance number O-21-10, an ordinance of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and providing for the issuance and sale of City of Glendale, Arizona general obligation bonds in one or more series for the purpose of providing funds to pay all or a portion of the costs of certain projects of the city and to pay all necessary legal, financial, architectural, engineering, and other costs in connection therewith, providing for the sale of said bonds, authorizing the execution of a bond registrar and paying agent agreement, authorizing an official statement, authorizing the execution of a continuing disclosure undertaking and certain other documents, and the taking of certain other actions in connection with the issuance and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Vice Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report this evening is Assistant City Manager Vicki Rihos.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. The item before you is a request for council authorization to issue up to $16.3 million in general obligation bonds. The proceeds from the sale will be used to reimburse the city for projects completed or underway, and also for projects in the approved FY21 capital improvement plan. I would like to note and assure council none of these funds will be expended on new projects until those have been approved by the council. And so, for example, Facilities is planning to update council on the court remodel project at the March 2nd workshop as an example of updating before the bonds are, proceeds are used. And with that, I'll answer any questions. We also have Mr. Bill DeHaan from Greenberg Traurig and Kurt Freund from RBC here in the audience if you have questions of them.
Thank you. Are there any questions, council? Yes, Councilmember Tomachoff.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I do have just a point of clarification. I think there's been a little confusion between the council and staff as a placeholder in the budget and an actual approved project. I think that created a lot of confusion with this. And then you did send us an email clarifying some of the items that are included in the email that you sent out this morning, or I think it was sent on behalf of you. The $1.2 million sign remodel, and then in parentheses it says, second floor may refer to this as we had to add this in, may not have final billing posted. I'm not sure what that means.
Vice Mayor, members of the council, I don't remember that being in my email, so I'll have to check.
I can.
Oh, I do know. I'm sorry. In the detailed, so when we pulled these detailed descriptions to lay this out for you, there was an item in there that said second floor. And so Ms. Wojtenko was clarifying that it's the second floor of the sign building.
Okay, Vice Mayor, so the $1,247,562 is to remodel the second floor of the sign building?
Mayor, members of the council, no, the 1.2 million, 1247562 in this email is the cost including the second floor.
Okay, all right, thank you, that clarifies it for me.
Any other questions?
Vice Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Turner.
just for clarity, that includes the second floor, the remodeling that was done on the second floor as part of the first floor project, or does that include remodeling the whole second floor when we get to it?
Mayor, members of the council, that includes remodeling of the second floor that has already been completed. It does not include the cost of any future remodels of the second floor of the sign building.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Anybody else? Do I have a motion to approve item 16?
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we approve item 16, ordinance number 021-10.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion of approval by Councilmember Malnar, a second by Councilmember Aldama. Are there any other discussions? We will conduct a roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama,
Aye.
Councilmember Clark,
Aye.
Councilmember Malnar,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff,
Aye.
Councilmember Turner.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Ms. Bowers, would you please introduce item 17?
Ordinance number O-21-11, an ordinance of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, 1, authorizing the execution and delivery of a purchase agreement, a trust agreement, a continuing disclosure undertaking, and an obligation purchase contract. 2, approving the sale, execution, and delivery of water and sewer revenue obligations in one or more series in order to finance improvements of the city's water and sewer system. 3, pledging certain water and sewer system revenues imposed or received by the city to the payment of such obligations. 4, delegating to an authorized officer of the city the limited authority to designate by series the final principal amount, maturities, interest rates, and other matters with respect to such obligations. 5, authorizing the taking of all other actions necessary to the consummation of the transactions contemplated by this ordinance, including the execution of certain documents and the distribution of a preliminary official statement and an official statement. And 6, declaring an emergency.
Vice Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report again is Assistant City Manager Vicky Rios.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. Mayor, members of the council, or Vice Mayor, excuse me. This is a request for council authorization to issue up to $30,500,000 in water and sewer revenue bonds. Again, proceeds from the sale of this bond sale will be used to reimburse the city for projects which have already been completed or are underway, and also for projects in the approved fiscal year 21 capital improvement plan. Again, I have Mr. Freund and Mr. Bildahan from Greenberg Traurig here if there are additional questions.
Vice Mayor,
Councilmember Clark.
thank you. One question for Ms. Rios. Ms. Rios, I just want to confirm for my own benefit that the issuance of these bonds are not relying upon our future discussion of possible rate increases in the enterprise funds. Is that correct?
Mayor, members of the council, my understanding from the water department and the analysis that we've done is that it will not, this issuance will not cause the necessity for a rate increase at this time.
Thank you very much for that confirmation. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Welcome. Any other questions or discussion? Do I have a motion?
Yes, Vice Mayor, I move we adopt ordinance number O-21-11.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion for approval by Councilmember Tomachoff, a second by Councilmember Clark. Any discussion? We'll have a roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama,
Aye.
Councilmember Clark,
Aye.
Councilmember Malnar,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff,
Aye.
Councilmember Turner.
Aye.
The chair votes aye, motion carries. Ms. Bowers, can you please introduce item 18?
Ordinance number O-21-12, an ordinance of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing the execution of conveyances of easements and warranty deeds at various locations throughout the city and directing the city clerk to record a certified copy of the ordinance.
Vice Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report on both item number 18 and item number 19 is Principal City Engineer Jamie Chapin.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. Good evening, Vice Mayor and council members. With this action, we will be accepting 3 water line easements from private developments. Additionally, we will be accepting a parcel on which the Stonehaven lift station is located, since the city will be owning, operating, and maintaining the station. And we have another deed accepting a parcel in which a regional detention basin is located, and this is adjacent to the Village at Thunderbird development. Staff recommends accepting the deeds and the easements to allow the city to access, maintain, and operate our facilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, council? Have a motion to approve item 18?
Yes, Vice Mayor.
Councilmember Malnar,
I move that we approve item number 18, ordinance O-21-12.
Second.
I have a motion for approval by Councilmember Malnar, a second by Councilmember Aldama. Any discussion? We'll conduct a roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama,
Aye.
Councilmember Clark,
Aye.
Councilmember Malnar,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff,
Aye.
Councilmember Turner.
Aye.
The chair votes aye, motion carries. Ms. Bowers, can you please introduce item 19?
Ordinance number O21-13, an ordinance of the council of the city of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing the acceptance of property located at 4434 North Tom Murray Avenue containing City of Glendale's well number 5 from the city of Phoenix and directing the city manager to execute all necessary documents to complete the acceptance of property and directing the city clerk to record a certified copy of the ordinance.
Vice Mayor and council members, with this action, we will be accepting a parcel from the City of Phoenix, which contain the City of Glendale's well number 5. Well number 5 is located at 4434 North Tom Murray Avenue within the City of Glendale. The well is currently not operational, but it has been registered to the city since 1982. Even though the parcel is located in the City of Glendale and the well is registered to City of Glendale, the parcel has actually been owned by the City of Phoenix. The City of Phoenix wishes to convey, and staff recommends acceptance of the parcel so that in the future, if the city wants to reinstate the well, we will have control of the property. Thank you, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions, council? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve item 19?
Yes, Vice Mayor, I move we adopt ordinance number 021-13.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion approval by Councilmember Tomachoff and a second by Councilmember Clark. Any discussion? We will conduct a roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama,
Aye.
Councilmember Clark,
Aye.
Councilmember Malnar,
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff,
Aye.
Councilmember Turner.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Now moving on to new business, items listed on the agenda. Ms. Bowers, would you please introduce item 20?
Reappointment of City Judge Manuel Delgado.
Vice Mayor, members of council, here to provide staff report this evening is Jim Brown, Director of Human Resources and Risk Management.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. Vice Mayor, members of the council, this is a request for City Council to reappoint City Judge Manuel Delgado to a 4-year term. His current term expires March 25th, 2021. Judge Manuel Delgado has served as a city judge in Glendale since 2013 and is eligible for reappointment to a 4-year term. A confidential survey and questionnaire was distributed to a variety of individuals who provided input regarding the judge's reappointment. Public input on the reappointment was sought through a press release to local newspapers. The survey results and all letters of input have been provided to the mayor and council, along with letters of recommendation, and I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding the process.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Council members, are there any questions? Don't believe there are. Is there a motion on item 20?
Vice Mayor,
Councilmember Turner.
it is my pleasure to move that the City Council reappoint City Judge Manuel Delgado to a 4-year term.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Councilmember Turner, a second by the whole room, but I guess Councilmember Clark maybe was first. To move the recommended action, we will conduct a roll call vote. Councilmember Aldama?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. If I may just make a comment before I vote.
Absolutely.
Judge Delgado, it's an absolute pleasure for me to cast my vote in favor of your reappointment, sir. And as I have said in the past 6 years of my 2 terms serving this great city, you are an inspiration to our youth and to many adults, I being one of them. Thank you so much for your service, and you are going to be continue to be a great addition to the team with Judge DiPiazza. Thank you so much, and I vote aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Clark?
Aye.
Councilmember Malnar?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries. I would now like to invite Glendale's presiding judge, Nick DiPiazza, and Judge Manuel Delgado up to the front, side my table, to allow presiding Judge DiPiazza to execute the swearing in and the oath of office process, which will complete the reappointment of Judge Delgado.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, your name,
I, Manuel Delgado,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies,
and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of city judge
discharge the duties of city judge
of the city of Glendale,
of the city of Glendale,
Maricopa County,
Maricopa County,
state of Arizona,
state of Arizona,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
One for family, one for the press.
Back. Do I have a motion for a future workshop and a future executive session?
Yes, we do, Vice Mayor. I move that we hold a special budget workshop on Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021 at 9 a.m. in the Civic Center, 5750 West Glen Drive. I further move that we hold the next regularly scheduled City Council workshop on Tuesday, March 9th, 2021 at 12:30 p.m. in the Civic Center, 5750 West Glen Drive, to be followed by an executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431.03.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Councilmember Tomachoff, second by Councilmember Clark. We will now conduct a roll call vote. Councilmember Turner?
Aye.
Councilmember Tomachoff?
Aye.
Councilmember Malnar?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark?
Aye.
Councilmember Aldama?
Aye.
The chair votes aye, motion carries. Next on the agenda are, well, maybe Mr. Livingston could start coming over, wishes to speak tonight. Next on the agenda are the citizens' comments. Council makes this opportunity available to citizens to bring information and business before the council that is not included on the printed agenda. The council can only act on matters that are on the printed agenda, but may refer the matter to the city manager for follow-up. If you are unable to speak from the podium, please notify the city clerk, and a portable microphone will be brought to you when your name is called.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
point of order.
I'm sorry.
Don't we do council comments first and then citizen
I don't
comments?
think so. I'm reading it. I don't know where those pages went.
The agenda, if I may, Vice Mayor, the agenda does call for council comments prior to citizen comments.
I think Mr. Livingston will wait just a minute. Wow. Maybe I jumped to future, no. Item 20, exec session. Let's just, for comments from our council. We'll just go around. Councilmember Turner, anything?
No, you're doing a fine job. Thank you. That's nothing else tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Clark?
Not a thing, Vice
Okay,
Mayor.
thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Tomachoff?
Nothing tonight.
Councilmember Malnar?
I should say something, but I
You
don't have anything else.
Councilmember Aldama?
Fine work, Vice Mayor.
Thank
None at all
you.
tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. No, I'm in order here. And Mr. Livingston? I think he's
Yielding
out-
us
out
for
there.
them.
He's afraid to come in now. Thank you, Mr. Livingston. You just maybe say
name's-
what district you live in, if you know, or your intersection.
Pardon me?
If you would indicate the district that you live in?
I live on Port-au-Prince in Glendale, Arizona. I'm in the 4 district.
Thank you.
Right now,
Thank
He's
you.
my councilman. I'm here to show my distrust of this administration. I'm sure my words will fall on deaf ears, but as a citizen, I believe that I do have the right to express and ask for clarifications of past approvals of city-owned property. I might add that after the St. Vincent de Paul building sale for $25,000, after the city paying $750,000, the council was to put in place a policy that the citizens would have transparency and trust from its election officials, and the water park project approval does not meet any of these criteria. The massive water park that this administration approved in June 2020 was without any public conversation, and I might add that it was void of any discussion that the mayor, city manager, or economic director, Brian Freeman, wanted to ensure their approval from any public conversation would happen until the mayor's election was over in November 2020. In fact, I believe that the city council violated its oath of office. Your citizens of the specific districts voted you in your office take care of the city's business, not protect this mayor who thanked you for not speaking out to your citizens about this project until after the election. According to past legal proceedings, and I refer to the lawsuit of Eaglehorn versus Phoenix, indicates the city has approved a contract using GET, and therefore the same conclusion remains from that lawsuit. And I ask that the city attorney return answers to the questions of why this contract is different from Eaglehorn versus Phoenix, and that you show the reasons why this approval should not be pursued in court. I got a copy of the Phoenix lawsuit conclusions. In addition, referring to the report from the consultant Mr. Freeman used on figure 5 of the report, the property tax would be $13,397,000,000, and with GET dollars show we get $3 million, which indicates that the revenue to the city is much lower for its property. I wonder how much the developer is making. I pay property tax every year. Why should this contractor not do the same? And I might add that the city has given this project a waiver of $1 million for development fees, and yet this council still asks the citizens pay a food tax. I think you guys need to look at it.
Time.
Thank you, Mr. Livingston. That time is up. So take it. There you go. Thank you, sir.
Here's the other one. Report from
Being no other business come before the council, meeting's adjourned.